Welcome to the wonderful world of PvP, and welcome to the Wolves Den, where many people call home. Here you can practice your skills and techniques for larger scale PvP events. However, there is also small scale PvP events called dueling, which are 1v1s, and that is the focus of this series. Before we get started, let's get you orientated with everything you need to know. When you first enter the Wolves Den arena, you will notice one of two things. First, all of your actions and skills are different. And second, your HP bar is also of a different number. This is because PvP in Final Fantasy XIV is based on skill and how well someone knows a class. So, all jobs have the same HP depending on which class they fall into. It is important to also note that gear does not matter, as a level 45 Black Mage will do the same amount of damage as a level 80 Black Mage. So, this means that the attacks do not change potency. All of your skills, stats, and PvP levels are located in the PvP profile. You can find the button usually on your hotbar when you first enter the Wolves Den pier. However, if you cannot find it there, then you can check on the first tab of your character, and it should be near the bottom with the name PvP profile. Click on the job or action to view all of your skills, and make sure you put every single one of them on your hotbar. If you are having trouble putting a skill on your hotbar, it is either a combined action noted by the sign of these things, which state that this is one button that can be used for multiple, and upon successful execution will become a new action. Or it is an action of which another action, upon the usage of another action, will become said action. That's a little confusing, but basically, an example would be when samurais use their Midari Setsugeka, which will change Tsubami Geisha to Kaseishi Setsugeka, or when Fire Bird Trance is used by Summoner, changing Ruin 3 to Fountain of Fire. After adding in all your actions, head to the Additionals tab, and make sure you add your additionals onto your hotbar. These are class-wide skills, meaning these are actions that are used from all jobs of the same class. Each additional has their own effect that will drastically change how you fight using your job, and will change when you try to counter other jobs. It is important to note that you can only have two, so swap them out when you get the chance and when you feel right to do them. Last point, you can challenge anyone in the den for a duel by selecting them, opening the drop down menu, and duel them. However, for the sake of courtesy, I always suggest asking first because it is a little more polite. Now, some tips for PvP dueling. Tip number 1. It's alright to play one job until you understand it best. However, it is important to try and learn what each job does. So when you fight other duelists, you can learn how to counter them with your one job. One tricking is fine in the beginning, but I always suggest branching off and learning other jobs later on in the future. Tip number 2. It is alright to lose. It's alright to lose over and over again. PvP isn't easy, and there are people who play PvP and master it. They master their playstyle by simply fighting many people or practicing dummies to learn their rotation, so that when they feel pressured, they can rely on a burst they've practiced through muscle memory and try to react better. If you do not know the rotation, it's fine to ask for help. Or if you want something easier, you can always check out my guides that I have on this channel. And if you don't see a guide or you want to learn something, feel free to comment on what you think would be a great guide to have. Tip number 3. Don't be afraid to shake things up. A certain combination or rotation not working against somebody, change things up and become like water and move rotations, burst, even additionals around. Dueling is fun, but it's also like a chess game. So it's fine to change things up and have the mindset of not one rotation will work on everyone. So try to think on the fly and be reactive to what your opponent is doing. Anyways, that does it for this introduction on the basics guide for dueling. If you have any questions for myself, please leave a comment in the below section. And take care. Bye.